This man, Charles Taylor, how did one man go from Boston College student to Liberian president to international prisoner? To answer that, we need to look at Liberia itself. August is an important month for the country. In August 2003, the Second Liberian Civil War finally ended, a war that had lasted 4 years, fueled by broken peace deals and unfinished business from an earlier conflict. And at the heart of it all was Charles Taylor, one of Africa's most controversial figures. Quick disclaimer, telling these stories is never easy. Too often, Africa's history is reduced to violence through a Western lens. We want to move away from that narrative, but at the same time, we can't be honest without facing the good, bad, and ugly. Before Taylor rose to power, there was Samuel Canyon Doe. In 1980, Doe led a coup that ended more than a century of Americo-Liberian rule, the dominance of politics and the economy by descendants of freed, enslaved African Americans. At first, Doe was seen as a man of change. It was under Doe that Charles Taylor, fresh from studying in the US, got his first government job. But their relationship didn't last. Accused of embezzlement, Taylor fled to America, was arrested in Massachusetts, and later escaped from jail under mysterious circumstances. Here's where Taylor's US connection stands out. Born in 1948 in an Americo-Liberian family, he grew up with privilege. In the 1970s, he studied economics at Bentley College near Boston. He spoke polished English, wore sharp suits, and carried himself with confidence. Ambitious, charming, and calculating, qualities that later drew both loyalty and fear. After his escape from US custody, Taylor resurfaced in Libya, joining Muammar Gaddafi's revolutionary training program. Out of this came the National Patriotic Front of Liberia, the rebel group that would change the country's history. By 1989, Taylor launched his rebellion. Liberia quickly descended into chaos. A year later, Doe was captured and killed by a rival faction. But peace did not follow. Instead, Liberia collapsed into years of brutal fighting, claiming more than 150,000 lives and displacing millions. The war spilled beyond Liberia's borders. In Sierra Leone, Taylor was accused of backing rebels in exchange for diamonds. These, quote, blood diamonds financed a war remembered for shocking violence, from child soldiers to widespread mutilations. After 7 years of fighting, Liberians wanted peace at any cost. In 1997, elections were held. By most standards, they were democratic, but intimidation and irregularities were reported. Many believed voting for Taylor was the only way to end the war. He won nearly 75% of the vote, moving from warlord to president. But peace was fragile and it didn't last. Taylor filled the military with loyalists. Tensions grew, and by the early 2000s, Liberia was at war again. The UN imposed sanctions, and regional leaders pushed for change. Under pressure, Taylor resigned on 11 August 2003 and went into exile in Nigeria. 3 years later, that exile ended. In March 2006, Liberia's new government requested his extradition. Taylor tried to flee but was arrested on 29 March near the Nigerian border and flown to The Hague to face trial before a UN-backed court. The trial began in 2007 and stretched for years. Then, in 2010, it took a sensational turn. British supermodel Naomi Campbell was called to testify. Prosecutors said Taylor gave her uncut diamonds after a dinner hosted by Nelson Mandela in 1997. On the stand, Campbell admitted she received, quote, small dirty-looking stones, but claimed she didn't know they were diamonds or that they came from Taylor. Her testimony, alongside celebrities like Mia Farrow, became one of the trial's most talked about moments, mixing glamour with the grim trade in conflict diamonds. In May 2012, after testimony from more than 90 witnesses, Taylor was found guilty of aiding and abetting war crimes and crimes against humanity. He was sentenced to 50 years in prison, effectively a life sentence. From Samuel Doe's coup in 1980 to Taylor's rise, fall, and conviction, Liberia's story is one of conflict, resilience, and hard lessons. Every August, Liberia remembers not just the end of a war, but the strength of a people determined